The epic story of Ruth. A tale of loyalty, love, and destiny. In a time of darkness, when famine gripped the land and kingdoms rose and fell like the tide, a woman's unwavering faith would set in motion events that would shape history. This is the story of Ruth, a name that would echo through the ages as a symbol of loyalty, redemption, and divine purpose. Chapter 1. A Journey into the Unknown. In the land of Bethlehem, there was once a man named Elimelech who, along with his wife Naomi and their 2 sons, fled to the distant and foreign land of Moab to escape a great famine. There, in the land of strangers, tragedy struck. First, Elimelech, the patriarch, passed away, leaving Naomi a widow in a foreign land. Her sons, Mahlon and Chilion, married Moabite women, one named Orpah and the other Ruth. But sorrow was not yet finished with Naomi, for after a few years, both of her sons also died. Now, 3 widows stood in the shadow of loss, their futures uncertain. Hearing that the famine in Bethlehem had ended, Naomi resolved to return home. She urged her daughters-in-law to remain in Moab, to return to their families and seek new lives. Orpah, with tears in her eyes, bid Naomi farewell. But Ruth was different. She stood firm, her eyes blazing with determination. "Do not urge me to leave you or to turn back from you," Ruth declared. "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried." Thus Ruth, a Moabite, forsook her homeland, her gods, and her past, embarking on a journey to an unknown land, guided only by faith and devotion. Chapter 2. The Fields of Providence. Naomi and Ruth arrived in Bethlehem with little more than their grief. The city, once Naomi's home, now seemed foreign to her, and she cried out in despair, "Call me no longer Naomi, but Mara, for the Lord has made my life bitter." But Ruth, ever steadfast, refused to succumb to sorrow. Determined to provide for herself and Naomi, she ventured into the fields to glean, gathering the leftover grains after the harvesters had passed. By divine design, she found herself in the fields of Boaz, a noble and wealthy landowner, a man of great stature and honor, and unknown to her, a relative of Naomi's late husband. Boaz noticed her at once. Unlike other laborers, she worked tirelessly, her presence humble yet resolute. When he inquired about her, he learned of her loyalty to Naomi, and admiration flickered in his eyes. "Stay in my fields," Boaz told Ruth. "Do not go elsewhere. I have ordered my men not to harm you. Drink from the water jars whenever you thirst." Ruth, overwhelmed by his kindness, bowed before him. "Why have I found such favor in your eyes, my lord? Though I am a foreigner, I have heard of all you have done for Naomi," Boaz replied. "May the Lord, under whose wings you have come to take refuge, reward you fully." Chapter 3. A bold request under the night sky. As the days passed, Naomi recognized the hand of God in these events. Seeing the kindness Boaz had shown Ruth, she devised a plan. "My daughter," Naomi said, "Boaz is our kinsman redeemer, one who has the right to marry the widow of a relative and restore her household. Tonight, he will be winnowing barley at the threshing floor. Wash, put on your best clothes, and when he lies down to rest, go and uncover his feet. He will tell you what to do." This was a bold and dangerous move, for a woman approaching a man in such a manner was unheard of. Yet Ruth, trusting Naomi's wisdom, obeyed. In the dead of night, under a canopy of stars, Ruth approached Boaz as he slept. Gently, she uncovered his feet and lay there, waiting. When he awoke, startled, she spoke in a voice steady with purpose. "Spread the corner of your garment over me, for you are a redeemer." Boaz, struck by her bravery and purity, was moved. "You have shown greater kindness now than before," he said. "You could have pursued younger men, yet you have chosen honor. I will do all that you ask." But there was one obstacle. Another kinsman stood before Boaz in line to claim Ruth's hand. Chapter 4. Redemption and Legacy. At dawn, Boaz went to the city gates, where matters of law were settled. He called the other kinsmen forward and revealed the situation. Naomi is selling the land of our kinsman Elimelech. You have the first right to redeem it. The man eagerly agreed. Then Boaz added, but with the land you must also take Ruth, the Moabite widow, to raise up the name of the dead on his inheritance. At this, the kinsman hesitated. I cannot redeem it, lest I jeopardize my own estate. And so, before the elders of Bethlehem, he removed his sandal, an ancient symbol of surrendering one's right, and handed it to Boaz, sealing the fate of Ruth and Boaz forever. That very day, Boaz took Ruth as his wife, and in time she bore a son, Obed, who would become the grandfather of King David, the greatest king Israel had ever known. Epilogue. A destiny fulfilled. Ruth the foreigner, Ruth the widow, Ruth the loyal. She who left everything behind found herself woven into the greatest story ever told, the lineage of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. She was a street warrior of faith, a woman who defied odds, who walked into uncertainty armed only with love and devotion, and whose name would be remembered for eternity. And so, from the barren lands of Moab to the golden fields of Bethlehem, Ruth's story is not just a tale of the past. It is a living testament that loyalty, courage, and faith can change the world.